Good day, everyone. I am your host, Katrina Guillermo, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Compass, where we help you navigate the digital world through a virtuous and ethical lens. Whether you're on the go or taking a quick break, sit back and join us. Today, we're also joined by Erica Panes, Orion Means, Hannah Garcia, and of course, our tech personnel, Shirlene Hiponia, for today's discussion. For this episode, isa na namang issue ang ating pag-uusapan. An issue that is talked about in today's society and an issue that could potentially make a change to our country's future. The Pax Silica is a US-led international initiative that aims to build secure, resilient technology and supply chains across partner nations, including the Philippines. Aside from the fact that this issue is very relevant today, we personally decided to choose this topic because our country is included within this project, and as we know, the Philippines is rich in minerals, which is crucial to their objectives. Additionally, the AI industrial hub that is on the works today has been the talk of the society, especially that it is being pushed to emerge technology and create more jobs in the country. Though, kikilitasin pa natin ito later on. But before that, to further explain this topic, let's have Erica.
Okay, so thank you for that short introduction, no, Katrina. So, before natin i-unpack itong Pax Silica issue na umiikot ngayon, ano nga ba muna ang Pax Silica at bakit tayo nasama dito, no? Gaya nga ng sinabi ni Katrina, ang Pax Silica is a US-led initiative and na-launch siya nung around 2026. And based sa mga articles na nakita ko and nabasa ko, ang Pax Silica ay ito yung nag-aim na magtayo ng mga secure supply na chains para sa mga technologies kagaya ng mga artificial intelligence, semiconductors, or mga computer chips, and pretty much anything na related sa technology or sa mga minerals. So, yung real question is, bakit nga ba tayo nasali dito, no? So, one of the reasons is ang Pilipinas kasi may malaking deposits na minerals na ginagamit sa mga electronics and mga semiconductor industry na rin kasi tayo na nag-a-assemble ng mga test chips, no? So, pretty much ginagawa yung Pax Silica para ma-avoid yung risk of relying too much heavily sa iisang country pagdating sa mga importanteng technologies and materials. So, syempre, isasali yung Philippines dito para maka-attract ng investments, magkaroon ng mga high-paying jobs, and para patibayin din yung semiconductor natin para hindi tayo mag-rely sa ibang countries. Pero syempre, hindi naman mawawala yung mga comments ng mga ibang tao sa issue na to. Katulad ng mga supporters, they believe na yung Pax Silica ay yung makakatulong sa Pilipinas para mas maging advanced pa tayo sa manufacturing and AI development. And syempre, if may supporters, may mga critics din. So, in-argue naman nila na dapat daw yung government i-ensure na yung Philippines ay mananatili na maging dependent sa US, and dapat din i-make sure na makakakuha tayo ng long-term benefits sa project. So, pretty much, that's the whole scope of the issue, no? Just to give the viewers some knowledge sa kung ano yung pag-uusapan natin for today's podcast.
Okay, so basically, ang Pax Silica is a big opportunity, pero syempre, hindi rin siya perfect. May mga tanong tayong kailangan sagutin bago tayo mag-rejoice or mag-react agad. Kaya ngayon, dive tayo sa ethical side ng issue na ito. Let's bring in our ethical analysts, Orion and Hannah, to help us unpack this topic.
Okay, so thank you, Katrina. So before natin pag-usapan yung mga possible solutions, kailangan muna natin i-identify kung ano ba talaga yung moral question dito. At sa tingin naming mga nasa podcast, ang core ethical problem ng Pax Silica ay kung sino ba talaga ang dapat unahin ay yung benefit ng ibang bansa o yung long-term welfare ng mga Pilipino. Kasi according to Rappler, Gonzales 2026, meron ng mga grupo tulad ng Kilusang Magbubukid ng Pilipinas o KMP na tinawag itong isang massive sellout ng ating resources sa foreign interest. Yung argument nila is baka malak ang Pilipinas sa isang subordinate role, meaning tayo yung mag-export ng raw materials at gagawa ng low-value manufacturing network habang yung mas mataas na klase ng technology, control, and profit ay mananatili sa ibang bansa. And dito naman papasok yung konsepto ng distributive justice kung saan dapat pantay-pantay or proportionate yung isang pagbabahagi ng benefits at burden sa isang partnership.
So tama, no? Dagdag na rin natin dito yung issue ng sovereignty and jurisdiction. So based sa report ng Philippine Star, meron palang request na dumaan mula sa US para bigyan ng parang diplomatic immunity type na privileges ang mga foreign personnel sa loob ng Planned Economic Zone sa New Clark City. So tinanggihan naman siya ng gobyerno natin to BCDA, pero yung mismong existence ng ganitong request ay nagpapakita na kailangan talaga natin ng maging maingat kasi kung mawawala yung authority na i-regulate kung ano man ang nangyayari sa sarili nating lupa, doon tayo papasok sa isang violation ng national autonomy.
Exactly, no? Tama ka dyan. At meron ding duty of care na dapat gampanan ng gobyerno dito. Ayon nga sa isang report ng Abasan 2026, meron ng mga labor at agricultural groups na nag-raise ng concerns tungkol sa sovereignty, economic dependency at yung possible na ma-prioritize yung strategic interest ng US kaysa sa local development. Even ang isang analyst na si Dan Steinbach sa Manila Times op-ed niya, tinawag niyang risk multiplier ang Pax Silica na ibig sabihin habang lumalalim yung ating alignment sa US supply chain strategy, pati na rin yung geopolitical exposure natin ay lumalaki.
So, bali dalawa talaga yung magkasalungat na pananaw dito eh. Meron tayong mga taong naniniwala na magiging beneficial tulad nga ng nabanggit ni Erica kanina. Pero meron din naman talagang mga tao na nag-aalala sa dependency at fairness ng deal. At kung titingnan natin siya sa lens ng common good, hindi lang dapat tingnan yung immediate economic gains, kundi yung sustainability and fairness ng benefits sa mahabang panahon na kasama na din yung mga apektadong community, hindi lang yung corporation o yung gobyerno.
Yun. So, that's a great point, no? And you guys have stated wherein the implementation of the Pax Silica would either benefit our country or hindi, especially that there are mixed reactions with regards to the project. It is also not a good thing if we become too dependent sa works ng Pax Silica and violate our own national autonomy. And it is important that the government should prioritize the benefits na makukuha natin and not just the economical gains and development of our country. So, ang question ko lang is, what do you think are the possible solutions for this issue?
So, sa mga possible solutions sa issue na to ay una, we propose na dapat magkaroon ng mas malinaw at transparent na policy framework, lalo na pagdating sa jurisdiction at legal authority sa loob ng economic zones. Hindi pwedeng basta-basta na lang tayo pumayag sa mga arrangement na maaaring makabawas sa ating regulatory power, gaya nga ng na-highlight sa PhilStar report.
Pangalawa, kailangan din natin ng genuine consultation sa mga apektadong sektor tulad ng mga magsasaka at yung mga komunidad na nasa lugar kung saan itatayo yung mismong plant facilities. Hindi dapat sa taas lang, hindi dapat yung mga nasa corporation o yung mga nasa gobyerno lang at yung mga malalaking kumpanya ang gumagawa ng desisyon.
And syempre, panghuli, kailangan ng investment sa local capacity at skills training. Para hindi lang tayo maging testing hub, dapat may pathway tayo papunta sa mas advanced na manufacturing at AI development, gaya ng sinabi rin ni Erica kanina.
So siguro, hindi naman totally masama ang Pax Silica dahil sabi nga raw nila may mga benefits kagaya ng possible job offers, investments, and of course technological advancement. No? Pero kung aalamin at kung tatanungin nga ba natin talaga, gaano ba tayo kasigurado na matatanggap talaga or mga Filipino talaga ang magbe-benefit dito. And hindi paano natin masisiguro na hindi lang yung mga companies at yung gobyerno ang talagang makikinabang? And is it really worth it na ipagpalit yung yamang mineral ng bansa natin para sa mga benefits na to? And bali ang gusto lang naman talaga naming sabihin is sana maging responsable at mas transparent sila dahil not to be dramatic, hindi na lang to tungkol sa development at advancement. Nakasalalay na dito yung kapakanan ng mga Pilipino, lalong-lalo na ang kapakanan ng bansang Pilipinas.
Right. Thank you, Hannah and Orion. Both of you have given a lot of good points, and I think we have a clear answer na, no? But just to summarize the group's ethical analysis and judgment to the viewers, we believe that for Pax Silica, hindi lang dapat tayo mag-rely solely by its potential economical benefits sa bansa, but rather if the project would uphold yung national sovereignty, the transparency, and long-term welfare ng mga Filipinos. While the Pax Silica partnership displays investments, technical growth, and job opportunities for the country, hindi dapat ito magkakaroon ng kapalit wherein we get unequal benefits, reduced authority or autonomy of our country, and increased economic dependency from foreign countries. We shouldn't just simply approve this project, but rather the decision should also come with prioritizing the common good of the people and ensure na may sustainability and fairness with the partnership. It is also important na magkaroon ng responsible action ng government in terms of creating transparency policies, protecting the sovereignty and authority of the country, and a genuine consultation sa mga affected communities pala, in which we get to receive the benefits of the project with the government, minimizing its ethical risks, and that it ensures inclusivity and accountability. The Pax Silica case is still an ongoing issue and will always be the talk of the society. There are a lot of mixed reactions and opinions, and there are a lot of questions that are yet to be answered and identified. It is important for us to stay awake and be aware of what's surrounding this project and be open in speaking out our insights. Because in the end, it is us and our country who is affected, especially in the future. We hope that you will learn a lot from this episode and that you will always be in touch and relevant with what's happening around our country, just like the Pax Silica project. We will see you on the next episode of The Media Compass.